Hello there, and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. Today, we have the 1998 Mazda Roadster 1.8 RS, aka the MX-5. But this is a special MX-5 because this is the D-Rights car that is used in the license tests. Really, it is just a reskinned Mazda Roadster 1.8 RS, but of course, ever since you saw this car in the license tests, you've always wanted to drive it, admit it. Even though all it is a Mazda that says D-Rights on it, you've always wanted to drive this and the Silvia. And thanks to the Gran Turismo 2 Plus mod, you can finally drive such a vehicle. And do you want to know how quick such a vehicle is? Well, this is technically a completely separate car. And as a result, it's a special car, and as a result of that, it's not upgradable. All you can upgrade about this vehicle is the tyres. So it is running stock, 143 horsepower, front engine, rear wheel drive, 1,030 kilos of weight. The only upgrade you can do to it is the super soft tyres, which it does have. So let's see how bad this goes. This is the... Of course, as usual, this is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Subaru Legacy Touring Sport RS with a 30.037. The Mazda MX-5 Roadster, aka D-Rights, is very unlikely to go anywhere close to troubling that. In all honesty, this will probably be one of the slowest vehicles we have, because it's one of the very few vehicles in this game that has no upgrades whatsoever apart from tyres. So as a result of that, it's a very nice car to drive. It beats the Opti Club Sport. The Opti Club Sport should probably be ashamed of that, although this does have 60 more horsepower than that did, so that's something. But yes, it is essentially just a Roadster 1.8 RS. To be honest, I was expecting these cars to be upgradable, so it's quite a shock when I got this one and discovered it was not. So that's as this has gone. In case you are wondering, if you're playing the Gran Turismo 2 Plus mod, spoilers, I guess, although I don't particularly care about spoilers. If you want this car for yourself, if you complete the Mazda MX-5 race modified race, the one make race, this is your prize car. That's one of the really cool things about GT2 Plus, is those races, like the one make races and the national races where you'd never used to get prize cars for them, they've sprinkled a couple of prize cars into those, so it actually feels like it's worth doing, as opposed to the base game where, because Gran Turismo 2 throws so many prize cars at you, the races where you are not given prize cars often feel pointless, really, because let's be honest, money isn't too difficult to come through in this game. So the only reason you really complete the one make races is if you're starting out the game at first and you're sort of desperate to enter races and you don't have any you can't really go much higher if you accidentally buy like a key car or something, and you just need a race for it to go to, then that's the reason you do the one make races. But thanks to this mod, there is actual points in doing them. There's a couple of prize cars tucked away in there, and I'll be making a note of them when they pop up. And one of my personal favourite cars from the mod, the D-Rights MX-5. Yeah, again, it doesn't really matter what time it gets around here, because it's just cool to be able to drive the D-Rights MX-5. In case you're wondering, this is a real car. I believe it was one of the vehicles Casanori drove at the racing school he was at, or the racing school he was at afterwards. They got some of these, so he decided to stick them in game. I think it's a bit of a missed opportunity. I think all of the cars should have had like D-Rights or something on them. I think that would have been quite cool, but I guess they just wanted to not overdo it with the same cars over and over again. And so, as a result, it's the MX-5 and the Silvia are also D-Rights vehicles. So, there you go. And we will be seeing the 1.8 RS in its actually upgraded glory come around this track soon. But to be honest with you, that's not bad for an entirely stock, basically, Mazda MX-5. That's a pretty good time. It went into the 34s. I don't have the exact figure because we're watching the replay now, but yeah, it's just cool to finally be able to drive the D-Rights MX-5, and much like the Opti Club Sport of last time, this car does look slightly cursed when it hasn't got a front plate on it. Very wide mouth. Good job, Janetta. Anyways, 34.923, and in fairness, you could have maybe got an extra 0.2 of a second out of that, but it doesn't really matter now. What's done is done, and what it has done is popped it into 9th place. It goes basically exactly between the Suzuki Wagon-R Aero RS and the Daihatsu Opti Club Sport. 34.923. It's almost a second and a half quicker than that Daihatsu, and it has no upgrades whatsoever apart from the tyres, so yeah, interesting to know, I guess. Anyways, that's it for this edition of the Hot Lap Classic. Do hope you've enjoyed, and you join me next time when I'll be driving something different. Until then, farewell.